Hi everyone, this evening I am playing Quatre from Hexasim. This is the historical scenario. It's a 7-turn scenario. I've done the turn number 1. As you can see, the game looks great. It's a wonderful looking game. Lovely pre-rounded, chunky, nice and big counters. And on this scenario, which is scenario 1 in the scenario book, you're using the map's double-sided. On this side it's larger hexes, which looks absolutely lovely on the table. And what we've got some Netherlands division here. They're actually on a bit of a sticky wicket, as I like to say. This unit here on its own, and they've already had a bit of a ruckus, shall we say, with the French here and here, but they've managed to repel the French attack on the first turn, and some of the French are routing as a result. And then as we move sort of further down the map, we've got some reinforcements, some Brunswickers, and we have the 5th Division. I think you're just off the map here, at the bottom of the map, which you can't see. We also have the 3rd Division as well. Wellington is over here. Where's Ney? Ney is over here. So yeah, I've played this scenario quite a few times now. The historical scenario, I mean, it's going to be difficult for the French. There's just an awful lot of opposing units on the map. There are other scenarios that you can play that sort of balance the game out quite nicely, but I'm playing the historical one. And I'll probably play it over a couple of evenings, play it at quite a leisurely sort of pace. And then as normal, I'll do quite a quick surmise every sort of turn, just to see how the sort of narrative of the battle unfolds before me. So at the end of that turn, which actually was a little bit shorter than I thought it may be, because of there's some die rolls you do at the end of each activation to see if the turn ends, and the turn did finish a little bit more abruptly. So the French have been able to make good progress here. These units here are giving them some trouble though, and they've been able to repulse the attacks. They can't quite move them out, but they're going to get to the point where they're just going to throw numbers really, and I think they'll be able to take that. At one point, I sort of considered whether these units would pull back. But they couldn't. We didn't get the die roll that we needed to activate them. Now, conversely though, this unit's here. This is a Netherlands cavalry unit. Bravely charged into these French cavalry units here, commanded by Ney, and managed to push them back and rushing in to the aid of their fellow countrymen here, and push the French back, which was brilliant fun. And they just got the die roll they needed, and yeah, it was absolutely brilliant. I sort of thought whether they would. I just thought that they would be so enraged at seeing their countrymen being charged by these cavalry units here that they wouldn't be able to hold back, and they did, and it paid off. There are, you can't see, but just off camera, down here off the bottom, there's a road here that runs through this sort of through this woods. There are some. There's a 3rd Division there to come and help them and support them in this area here. And if they would have had another activation, they would have been moving up, but not this particular turn. Then over this side of the map, we have Picton and his 5th Division, and they're sort of moving slowly to sort of reinforce, because the French will definitely be breaking through, and they will be meeting these units head on in the next few activations. We do have some routing units here, and we do have some here as well. So a great drama already unfolding at Quatre to this evening, which is a lot of fun. I have to say, this game system. I have two games using this system. It flows really nicely. It's definitely quite a quick playing game. You can solo it pretty well. There are a few things you have to make some house rules for. There are some hidden information and fog of war and all that kind of stuff. But I'm finding that the game's got a really nice pace to it and very dramatic. And actually, even with activating units and sort of formations, um, they actually activate quite quickly, and it's more based on die roll than chip pull, which is another sort of system for Napoleonic games that I've used in other games. But this one is a die roll system, so you have to decide which which formation you want to activate, and then you roll the dice to see if they can activate or not. So yeah, it's flowing very nicely this evening, and a lot of a lot of great drama already unfolding, which is brilliant fun. Significant drama in the last turn. The French were able to push their opponents out from this hex here, and they have swept now very close to Quatre on this road. They have been stopped by Picton and some units formation in these hexes here, and have been slightly pushed back and have had another attempt to push through. And then on this side of the map, these units here, or these counters, sorry, moved up the road here, that were charged by the French cavalry here, but were utterly defeated with cannon, and they will be removed off the board. Literally, I think it was this stack here rolled a double one against that stack there, so they took heavy losses and eliminated. And then we have Ney and his stacks here facing off against these, just trying to hold them back from them coming round and swinging round and walloping into the French from this side as well. We've also been able to move they moved the Brunswick division up along this road here. Again, just hold it just to make sure the French don't try and flank around here. So yeah, plenty of drama in that turn, which is a very enjoyable turn of wargaming. And another very dramatic turn. The French on this side, Ney just cannot break these units here. On this side of the battle, again, the French are pushing really hard to try and break through. The Brunswickers have taken some casualties. There's been some routing and then rallying. Picton and the 5th Division have been able to push the French backwards and forwards. The one thing I would say with this system is the combat is really quite decisive. The amount of double ones that I have rolled today, this evening, means that there's been quite a few casualties inflicted, and it's really quite a decisive sort of system. So the French, the next turn, there are some more British coming on the board. Let me just check. They are the 1st Division that are coming on from this side of coming onto the board. So the French are going to have an even harder time of it. So we'll see if we can just push through and see if they can get anywhere near Quatre. We'll see. So we're going to call the game there. The French just can't push through. I think they took too many casualties slightly earlier on in the game here. Ney again just being pushed back from these units here, just not really having any great impact, and probably, although it was quite dramatic and added to the narrative, probably got bogged down in this area down here by the woods. But it was a very enjoyable few evenings of wargaming in this part of Napoleonic history. The game looks great on the table. The counters nice and big and chunky, and the map looks amazing. So really enjoyable. All the mechanics are very straightforward. I've had this game a while. I haven't reviewed it, so I'll probably do a review and talk about some of the mechanics. But in effect, you have, I've got it here to hand. Look, you have a fire table, and on the flip side, you have the melee table, and it's pretty conventional. You're adding up the ratio between the units. The artillery is quite decisive, I did find. So there's a nice mechanic where there's quite a lot of artillery fire for when you're being attacked and so forth, which works quite well. and it's quite a streamlined system. Definitely medium complexity, but not too rules orientated. I have found the game flows very nicely, and I do like the activation system, and I do like the order system as well, where you give in your different formations orders, they're carrying out those orders, and there are points where you can change those orders, and that's quite interesting, quite thematic, I feel. Um, and yeah, you can activate the units, and sometimes you don't get the die rolls, so you have to skip, and the other side will activate. I can imagine, because I've been playing this solo, it's probably more important for two player. But overall, really enjoyed it. I will. There are some sort of variations on this historical scenario in the rule book, or the scenario book, I should say. I've played all of those, but I do have another game in this series, so I think I'll go to that and play some scenarios of that, and then come back to Quatre, and then do one of those sort of historical variation scenarios, and do an AAR of that, and then I'll probably do a sort of formal, do a video review of my thoughts about the game system. But as you can probably tell, I really like it. So if you're on the fence, I highly recommend this. I very much enjoyed a few evenings playing Quatre. It is a historical scenario that I enjoy. Definitely hard for the French playing the historical, and every time I play it, I always go, I really need to work out how to play the French better here, to see what can be done. But yeah, very enjoyable, very thematic, and looks great. So yeah, good stuff. And yeah, thanks for watching as ever. Thank you.